Some weeks ago, I recorded a video regarding how I come up with song ideas. There are other questions that pop up from time to time, and one of them is what is my workflow? So today, that's what I want to talk about. I want to tell you what is the no template workflow that I have come up with to write my songs. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Synaptic Schism and to another episode of Inside the Schism, where I talk about my life as a composer. Today, I want to tell you about templates, or how I record songs without the use of any templates. To better understand that, we are going directly to Reaper, which is my DAW. That's the first point that I want to raise, is that I use Reaper to do all of my work. The reason why I use Reaper is because I can tweak Reaper to do the things that I want Reaper to do. Okay, so let me give you an example. If I right click here, I only have track templates. So each one of these is a track template, and I can add any of these tracks at any point in time. I can just choose, and I have at this point in time hundreds of them. But the point here is that I tweaked Reaper so that it only shows this menu. But by default, this is the menu that Reaper shows, all of this stuff. So for instance, if I wanted this, I would need to go to this specific option, and then I would have the same options here. But I don't care about all of this stuff that it's here. The only thing I care about is to add instruments. So in this case, I edited the Reaper's behavior to only show this in this particular menu. So that's the first point, is that I tend to spend quite a bit of time tweaking Reaper so that it does exactly what I want it to do. Okay. The second point that I want to show is that I actually have project templates. Although I don't use any project template to start a project, I have a number of project templates. This doesn't mean that I use them as actual project templates. So I'm not going to start a project with orchestral ensembles, for instance. What I use the project templates for is, and I'll give you I'll show you exactly what I do, is I use them as placeholders for tracks. So what I do inside all of these project templates is that I create the tracks exactly how I want them to behave. So for instance, in this case, I have a Celeste track and I have a humanizer, which is not on, but all of my tracks have got this humanizer in case I want to use them. Then I have the actual instrument, which in this case, it's a Spitfire BBC Orchestra, the free version. I also have a relay, which is also present in all of my instruments. And I also have a gain plugin, which again is present in all of my instruments. So of the dozens of instruments that I have pre-configured, all of them have got at least the humanizer, the actual instrument, a relay, this relay plugin, and a gain plugin. What this allows me to do is I can tweak all of these things, and then if I right click and I say that I want an orchestral tonal percussion Celeste, I'm going to have exactly this track duplicated in my actual project. Okay, so the first point is I tweak Reaper all the time to do the things that I want Reaper to do, and then I will just use exactly the instruments that I want to use. Let me just delete this because I don't want this here. After I tweak in each of the project templates, after I tweak each of the instruments that I use, what I then do is I wrote this script, which I'm going to show you, called Save All Tracks as Track Templates. So when I run this template, what it's going to do, it's going to save each one of these instruments inside the appropriate folder. So inside the folder 1 orchestral, 4 tonal percussion, I will find all of these instruments. This is saved automatically by this script that I wrote. This again, I don't know how this works in other DAWs. This is how I worked it out in Reaper. What this allows me to do, let me start a new project. As you can see, A new project for me is quite literally an empty canvas. This is how I start every single song that I work on. What I then do is I start adding pianos. I always add the same piano, to be honest, which is this piano open from the Orchestra Complete, which is one of the instruments that I've purchased over time. And for instance, I can write a melody here, or I can duplicate it and write an harmony, or duplicate it and write a bass. So just for the sake of illustration, let's say that this is melody, this is harmony, whatever that means in this context, and this is bass. And I just start writing piano tracks, so piano sketches for whatever it is that I want to write. And after I have the actual song complete only with piano sketches, then I start adding other instruments. So let's say that I would want the basses from Hyperion strings, and then I would copy whatever was in this bass for the basses. Okay, and if you notice, I have this plugin called Rearticulate, where I can just choose what is the articulation that I want to use. If you see in the window, I have this Rearticulate plugin. Every single instrument that has multiple articulations, which is the case of this one. So I have like spiccato, staccato, sustain. If I change, it will change directly to that one. The reason why you're seeing extra here and not the actual things, it's because I'm tweaking this I'm tweaking this project template as we speak. That's why this isn't expressed here. Okay, but for the most part, this is my workflow. So I tweak Reaper. Let me give you another example of the way that I tweak Reaper. For instance, if I want to, if I right click effects, the only thing that I'm going to have is the actual effects that exist, and then all of these groups that you see here and the way that this is organized, these are all the effects that I have, and I created every single one of these groups, and I've added all the things here, and I tested all the effects, and I decided in which separate thing they should be, and so on and so forth. So I tweak Reaper quite a lot. Every time I'm not in the zone and that I'm not writing something, I have a list of tasks of things that I want to improve either in Reaper or in my templates. Then I don't use the templates directly. What I do is I use piano sketches like these three here. I write whatever I want in the piano, and then when I'm happy with the actual song, I start adding instruments and orchestrating those several pieces into the instruments. So, in a nutshell, as far as writing a song, that's it. That's the process. Highly configured Reaper, a bunch of project templates that allow me to have automated track templates. Then I write on the piano, and then I add the instruments that I want for the track template that I want with the instrument that I want. When I'm happy with the orchestration, that's a different step, and I'll probably need to do a video about that. When I'm happy with the orchestration, I just render everything to audio, and then I mix it normally, let's say. But I'll save that for another video because it's a completely different process. So just to finish, highly customized Reaper, project templates that serve as a placeholder for track templates, sketching the piano, everything that I want to write. When I'm happy with the song, I add track templates from the previous templates that I had, and then I start orchestrating the song that I have until I'm happy with the song that I'm writing. This is my process. No project templates involved. Before we go, if you found this video helpful, please leave it a like and subscribe to the channel so that you can see other videos in the future. I hope that this was helpful for you. This is especially helpful if you don't have a very powerful machine, which is definitely my case. This workflow will probably help people that don't have high-end machines for music production, and might give you some ideas. I don't know how this applies to your DAW. It depends on how able your DAW is to manage all of this stuff that I do in Reaper. But if you have Reaper, this will definitely work and be a much faster workflow for you to write your songs. So I hope this helped, and until the next video, bye bye.